Hello and welcome to a Manchester United therapy session, also known as episode 7 of the Clash Report. Today we've got a very special guest and also a very close friend of both me and Karak, Mr. Ashwin Vijay. Also happens to be a Manchester United fan. And we're here to dissect all things that happened yesterday and also other actions from the Premier League and maybe a little bit on India and Pakistan also.
Yeah, before we let even Rohit speak, I was just going to say it's a pleasure being here with you boys. You know, me and Shivu obviously go way back. My first ever cricket match I was taken to by Shivu's dad actually, and it was a very interesting game. I don't know if you remember that game, Shivu. It was India-Australia. First ball that we saw was a wide 5. Australia scored 360. And like, it's kind of, who thought, at that time I was like, oh, dude, it's okay. United is such a good team. India doesn't have to be great, so I can have one good team, one bad team. Now the tables have turned, and now anyway, we have a lot to say about India, and Rohit and me also, have a lot of connections. So excited to be here, guys. Anyway, I'll let Shivu have the floor.
But yeah, I mean, starting off, we've been friends for, I think, 25 years now. I don't know, maybe probably longer.
27.
Ashwin is partly responsible for why I'm a Manchester United fan also. If I'm blaming you for the good times, I'm also blaming you for the bad times.
No, I'm glad for the good times. At least we were like together to celebrate them, and the bad times we have to cry over the phone. So it's like at least a little bit like we had some good times.
Karat, can I tell you a quick story? So,
Please go on.
Ashwin live in the same building, okay? And I don't know if you remember, Ashwin, of course, remember the famous Makeda goal, which happened in 2008. So I was in my house watching the game. Ashwin is in his house. When the goal goes in, I've taken off my shirt in my house. I've run up to his house. I rang the bell. His shirt is also off. And we jumped on each other. And
honestly, see, that's the sad thing is like, see, we still have moments like that. So we can't truly hate our club right now because literally, man, like he's run up one floor without his shirt, without his shoes, without chappals. And then he's opened the door. And I kind of knew it was him because Shiv has this weird way of knocking the door. So I opened the door without my shirt on because I knew it was him. We had a good hug. We had a couple of moments like that. I think there was one, maybe not the Spurs one, but I think the Makeda one was obviously like the big one. But...
Yeah, Makeda one was huge. But I just remember that so vividly because my shirt's off in the middle of the building. Your shirt's off in the house. But
I mean, you know what? Yeah. And that's actually an interesting moment. That's a good way to segue Rohit into this. You know what? That was like, I was thinking about it. We had a 17-year-old, we're already the best team in the country at that point, Ronaldo, Rooney, all of that. And then a 17-year-old comes and wins the game for us. It's kind of similar to what Ngamoa moment, right? Like, it's like, that's kind of what, like, only a few clubs in the world can have moments like that, and I'm trying to make United still sound big, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it is like it was a special feeling. And, what do you make of, like the way Liverpool are going? I think that's the perfect way to bring up that game. Interesting game. What did you make of it?
4 wins in a row, I think, 12 points. Slow start to the season. Also, props to Burnley. I think they wanted the draw. They didn't want to attack. And also Scott Parker with Bournemouth lost 9-0 to Liverpool the last time he faced Liverpool. So I think good on him. He's learned something to be a little pragmatic at least. And listen, they had 10 guys right in that 18-yard box. It was hard. I thought Salah was horrendous. I thought Wirtz was also average. Ekitike was nowhere to be seen, and Gakpo also was nowhere to be seen. But Gravenberch, Virgil van Dijk, oh geez, what a player Gravenberch is. What are those touches in the middle? What are those touches in the middle? And Van Dijk, I can go about Van Dijk throughout.
I'm sorry, but like there was just like these moments in the game when it was super slow, right? And Van Dijk would just pick the ball and ping it hard to like one of the midfielders or forward and almost like force them to attack, right? Like he was sort of like, he's just like, Carragher said it so well, man. It's like almost this level is too easy for him still, like, and he's just getting better with age.
And also there was this, go on.
How long is his luck going to continue, bro? Every freaking game you're getting bailed out right in the end. You got an assist from a former United player. How long is this going to continue?
No, I thought if you watch the second half, they had 0 touches in the box. Their XG was 0.00.
They're Burnley, bro.
But we dominated them, and I thought, okay, listen, at the end of the day, I thought it will be a draw, I'll be honest with you. But then handball came into the picture by handball, and he gave it to us, mate. Now, what can I do about it? Who else? Mo Salah with the Mo Salah performance. We all know about this performance.
God, the captaincy.
Oh, FPL, captaincy. Who
destroys me. I captain Mateta, bro. Let's not talk about that. So I'm I thought Sunderland, I thought Palace might get a couple of goals, but anyway, we can have a whole separate podcast on my FPL right now. But one thing I would say though, like despite like, and I think Slot came out and said it as well, right? Like he wasn't too happy with the way things were going in that game, though, right? Like he's like I had to put on as many attackers as possible. He had like an interesting thing to say about Kirkesh, right? He's like, I don't trust him not to make a stupid challenge, so I had to take him off. He took him off in the first half, like
30th minute, yeah.
So it's not like it's not looking like the final product, right? Like so, but the fact that 12 and 12 is actually absurd considering the performances.
Also, if you just look at the way we've been playing, we've had Szoboszlai playing right back for the last 3 games, and once Szoboszlai moved into centre mid, we had Bradley in there. You could just see the difference because Bradley offers you width. Bradley has a great first touch, and Bradley can just run through on the right side. But Szoboszlai was not offering. Szoboszlai was a little subdued because obviously he doesn't want to make sure that on the counter, what if Foster or Jadon Anthony take control that side? So when you have Bradley came on, and then Frimpong also came on. What that made is that you had someone on the right attacking their right wing back. And when you have like 10 players behind in your 18-yard box, you need someone to attack. Because what Cody Gakpo was doing the entire time was just cutting right and trying to cross or trying to shoot. And and also you spoke about Rio, right? What a bloody performance. He came on in the 85th minute, made 2 chances, so bloody direct. And and he's such a special talent, according to me. I think he's going to the top. The way he's playing,
16-year-old like playing for the best team in the country, you have to be incredibly special. Like he just turned 17, right?
Just turned 17, and what an impact! He came on, took Kyle Walker in and on the left side, and he played a beautiful pass to Frimpong where Frimpong got a shot on target. But again, it was like you mentioned. I think it's a slow start. It's not like the final product is not there, but I think we'll take that, and finally we have Bradley and Frimpong fit. So I feel like we can slowly get our system in place. Also, props to Robertson for coming on and playing really well. I thought he was way better than Kirkesh.
I thought he was really good compared to what he's shown in the past, yeah. And he had that cross. I mean, that Chiesa song, man. That's also the beauty of the Liverpool away fans. Like you could hear them so loud and clear in the stadium. And he almost scored. I mean, he literally came on and then he literally had that header, first touch of the game. But I honestly, like, I still think it's like, it wasn't like a boring performance in that. You guys the second half did like sort of spice it up a bit. But I was telling Shiv and stuff on the group, and I wonder what you think of this. I thought Burnley looked comfortable though. I didn't think at any point were they like Dubravka made a couple of decent saves. I thought like nothing really like extraordinary, right? Like,
no, I think we had no clear-cut chances. Like, if you looked at the game, I just thought there was one shot from Gravenberg, there was one shot from Ekitike on the left-hand side, and like I said earlier, I think I would have taken a draw because we just couldn't make chances. And also, Wirtz, for example, after a point, I was getting pissed off with him, because he was just so lazy, like, in the first half. Obviously, in the second half, he was trying to break the lines. He was trying to do something, but just, I don't know why he gets pushed off so easily off the ball. If you've seen that so many times in the middle, he was just getting pushed off, and that would be a ploy whenever he played. You know what I mean? Like, but also Salah,
that they're defending him.
And also Salah was, how many times did Salah get away with the ball
wasteful. Yeah. Honestly, he's just so wasteful. Like, he is like that typically, but then I feel like that's the thing is like, when I saw Van Dijk and Salah's interview after the game, and they're like, we still don't know how these new guys play, so we're trying to figure it out. And they're being honest about that, right? Which is fair enough, but they're still winning games, which is like a sign of a good team.
Yeah.
So that's like incredibly like beneficial for you guys. But anyway,
Wirtz is probably still going to take a few more games to get up to speed. But like you said, I mean, they're winning games when they're not playing well, which is what we used to do about 10 years ago. And it's just the signs of 15 years ago. I mean, so 15 years ago.
Before we move on to the next topic, I just have a joke to crack. I was watching it with a couple of my friends. One's an Arsenal fan and one was a Chelsea fan. You know what he said? He said, can you pick out the numbers of how Salah has been performing after the contract signature has been done? Because you know who they compared him to? Obama. Who? Obama what? What? Clock fam. And that's a great comparison. I'd give that.
But there is,
An
like
Arsenal fan
slightly
saying that.
sidebar, but there is something to be said about that, right? I honestly would notice it more in American sports, but contract year players, like remember Rashford, Shibu? Like what was contract?
Exactly.
Like, Rashford looking for a contract was like God, like, like every game he was
and
scoring.
So did
like,
it got over, that man became a different player.
And like, but the thing is, Salah is like just like he has more discipline, I feel, which maybe, but then I still think, he can't keep up the standard of last season, man. Like there's no way, like, so the others have to step up if Liverpool are going to, I still think like right now, your strongest 11, Arsenal's strongest 11, Liverpool is better, but Arsenal's squad is a joke. And maybe that's like a good transition to talk about them. And like you guys said, I didn't really catch that game, but what did you make of that?
No, I think we can avoid Arsenal today. I mean, that boring Stoke city nobody needs to talk about. Like I said, we also brought Ashwin on for a joint therapy session. And I think we need
man.
to...
Honestly, we can move into that, but man, honestly, like I can't believe, like honestly, like this is like a horrible confession to make, but I obviously was so upset when Liverpool got the penalty, but also part of me is like Arsenal won't be top of the table. I'm like. I don't know who. Like it's like such a terrible feeling for us, right? Like we're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Like
exactly.
But also more about
Liverpool of all.
More about the game.
To City.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, the worst possible weekend that could have happened.
Exactly. The fact that they are the two best teams in the country and they are the only teams that we grew up knowing fans of, right? Like Chelsea, who cares? Irrelevant.
Hey, but my brother's the Chelsea fan, so there's still some bragging rights at home.
Specifically, I guess with Krishu, it's different. But anyway, we can go to the United game, Shivu. What did you...
let's talk about the United game. Yes,
let's touch on Arsenal and then move on to United, because United will be a longer piece because I want to see you guys cry a little bit longer. But we'll finish off Haram Teta and then we'll go on to United. I thought Arsenal, fantastic. Madueke, solid. Eze, solid. Overall, Zubimendi scored a brace. Zubimendi scored a banger of a goal.
Yeah, that first goal was a stunner.
What the fuck was that Nottingham Forest performance? Like, with the players they had, it was just piss poor. Arsenal were in second gear. They were just playing around, and Nottingham Forest did absolutely
I just
nothing.
I hope Ange gets sacked quickly so we never have to hear that Australian accent from Shivu again.
I was about to do it right now.
Oh God, please,
mate, it's only been one game, mate.
It's out.
No,
cut.
They asked you in the post-match, though, when are you going to see assistants? You're going to see on Wednesday, mate. Don't like this guy.
You know what? I've been told Shivu has a family in Australia. He has so many family members, and this is what. And Rohit literally lived in Australia, and this is what you guys have made the culture look like. The shrimp on the barbie. I'm not even going to try the accent, Shivu. God. Rohit literally muted his mic and stopped. He was in trouble there.
That's the cliche line, right? Australians.
Yeah. No, we know, but not the way you said it. No, man.
Wait till my French accent comes out, okay? Wait for some French business to start, and then you'll see some real accent work. All my acting lessons will come to play.
Shiv, on that note, I think you should work on your Portuguese accent because we're going to go right into the derby. And initial thoughts on Ruben Amorim, lads. What the fuck was that yesterday?
Ashwin, I'll let you go first.
Dude, you know what? It's so... Because it's like we've been like so bad for so long now, right? Like you sort of look for like little positives. You're like, after the first half, like for the first 10 minutes of the second half, we were okay. You know what I mean? Like that's genuinely like clutching at straws at this point because I don't know, man, like his like inflexibility, I think that's becoming the theme, right? Like his lack of like adaptation, like that midfield hole is like a chasm. It's like literally you can park two buses in there. Let's be honest, like Fernandes cannot play in that position. Especially against like high quality opposition. They can like pick you off. And honestly, I don't even think City played well yesterday, right? Like, wouldn't you say they were like, I've seen us play worse and lose like much less than 3-0. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen us play like horribly and like lose like 2-0 in the past. This was, I don't know, man. Like, and that's, I think, the frustrating part as a fan is that, like, where do we go from here, right? Like, is it the manager's fault? We've changed managers constantly. Give him time, but he seems to be like super adamant and arrogant about this formation. And another thing, we were talking about it yesterday in the group show. We were like, we couldn't even figure out where half the players were playing, right? Like, it's like every game we're coming in and trying to figure out, and that's awful if you think about it. Like, every player should be playing their best position, right? And they're all kind
But
of
they
square
still,
pegs
that
in
those
round
three
holes.
defenders still don't know when to jump. I mean, it's been 12 months now, and this is the so-called the thing he does, right? That one defender jumps and helps the midfield, but there's still the timing is so off. Even if you look at that third goal, bro, Haaland has free space the entire
Yeah.
half. He's
No, he
got.
has the whole
I know I'm
half. He has the whole
chasing the
half to himself.
game, but I know I'm chasing the game, but still, how can you have that much space on the field?
We used to give
And
so
wait,
much
Shivu,
shit.
before
We
you...
used to give so much shit of Bundesliga when Haaland used to score like this.
Yeah,
But then
exactly
when I
goes like
saw that,
that.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, go on,
Yeah.
Ash, go on.
But you know what? No, you know what, Shivu, and like I don't know if Karak's noticed this if you watched enough of us play in the last few weeks, but like he does this weird thing, dude. He start like substituting the back three.
Yeah,
Like
every
anything
game.
about, yeah, you know, anything about like any consistent team we've seen in our lives is a consistent back five or six
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Like whatever it is, like those positions you play 90 minutes, 38 games if possible.
Yeah.
Every game he like take one centre back out, put another centre back in. Like, you know, he's playing like, I don't know, like Maguire comes in, De Ligt goes into like that right centre half, and then
Comes
he
in
is like the most advanced player, you know,
Advanced
in some
player.
actions. Like, so it's like just bizarre, man, you know. And honestly, I really rate him as a human, but as a
Yeah.
coach, I don't know.
He's got aura. He's got aura, baby.
He's a good-looking
and
guy, you know, like.
if there was one centre back to take off yesterday, it was Luke Shaw, not Lenny or
Yeah,
Lenny was
100%.
okay. Like, Luke Shaw absolutely stunk up the place yesterday. He had a hand to play in every single goal, and
Yeah.
he left him on. It just what
The
baffled me yesterday was
first
just
goal, the first goal, sorry, but like the Doku beats Shaw and he's just like jogging back, you know, like Keane spotted that and he was like, what's wrong with this guy, you know, like.
And even the second goal, when Haaland goes through, it's just the lack of effort in trying to, like, you know, put your body on the, like, you look at Haaland's eyes, he's determined, like, in running at him. And
He
Luke
is
Shaw
something
looks like
else,
he
man.
lost the battle like at least 10 meters before Haaland has even scored, you know? That's
God.
the frustrating part.
Yeah.
And honestly, Karak, did you watch the game? You did. You said you watched it with friends. That third goal was not actually an easy finish, bro. You know, he had a lot of space, but the guy, like, just a quick sidebar, talk about him, man. Like, it's honestly like
He was so
sometimes when he's just so good, it's like City and United were like more or less like on par yesterday, right? Like 2 chances for him, and he obviously missed that sitter as well. But anyway, that happens. But there's just something about him, man. He's just different, you know. Like he needs 3 touches a game to get you 2 goals, you know. Like when he's
And
on.
he had 5 minutes in the game where he was defending like a beast.
Yeah, 2. Yeah,
back,
exactly.
defending corners. He was just like, you know, he looked like a man who was playing a derby yesterday. As opposed to us, like Roy Keane mentioned, we didn't have a single yellow card, like post-match into somebody. Like show some urgency and like desire that you want to win this game.
No, and you guys on the first episode covered sexy time, Sesco time. There's no, like, we've been we're getting heavily blue balled here, Rohit. The sexy times are not.
Blame him,
yeah,
man.
honestly, he's just. It's not his fault. I won't blame him, honestly. Yeah.
I think obviously, you know, we've been bitching about just the back five of United. But I'm gonna give a shout out to Mbuemo. What a fucking performance! He looked like the only fucking player, only player who wanted to try. And what is that save from Donnarumma? And that shot also,
that strike. Honestly, that whole sequence of play was crazy.
Exactly,
right?
And also coming back to Haaland, what a finisher, right? Like, you know, have you seen anyone like this? Every one-on-one, he's gonna hit it to the left bottom corner, right bottom corner.
It's insane, actually, dude. Like, you know, and you saw that, dude. Like what Shivu was talking about. I think Shivu was talking about the third goal, but even the second goal, Haaland's first goal, the way he like wrestles Shaw, you can see his face, that determination, you know, like. And it was just one touch finish. I rewinded a couple of times when I was watching the highlights, and I was like, wait, I thought he touched the ball a couple of times because that's what I remember seeing it as. But then it was just one touch, you know,
one
like
touch
both the
and
goals.
A little chip. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
also,
the
chip was the touch.
Moment,
yeah.
And Shaw in that moment, you look at his face. He looks defeated already.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, he's just so disconnected, right? Like he doesn't. It's like I let him score. You know what I mean? And like that's the type of thing. And like Shaw's been like a big believer in Amarim, and you know he's like of all the years I've been here, he's the best I've worked with, and all of that. But I don't know. I feel like the manager also after a certain point has to like die by his guns, right? So he's kind of like, I don't know, like it's kind of an untenable situation for him. Like I don't know, Shivu, like what do you make of the coach? Like I mean,
no,
I think
what frustrates me, I'm okay. Like you have your system, you're adamant you're going to play it, but it's just the manner in which we're losing. You have to be a bit bolder. Like, how much are you going to play Okate? Meno came on for
Oh my
25
God.
minutes and like did so well. And yesterday we're
Looked
playing
so much
City.
better. Yeah.
City on the back of 2 losses. Like it's a good time to play them, really get at them. And then you play Mazraoui right wing back when Ahmad should definitely play there. You should be pushing Bruno forward. It just felt like, okay, Cunha's not there, push Bruno forward, play Menu and play Casemiro. It seemed very obvious from the outside, but then he wants to be more conservative. I get it. I know you did it in the Arsenal game also. But this was a moment to like go after City, and that's
Man,
what first
that,
lose with some conviction at least. Like
yeah.
go at it and you lose, and then at least like as fans, we're not like at least we be like, okay, cool, we gave it a shot. Yesterday, it just
Yeah.
felt like we're defeated before it even started.
No, and this has been a mentality problem at the club for years, you know, like 1-0 is pretty much game over, you know, and especially in the big games. Think about it, like last year, honestly, that Etihad result was a freak result because we came back somehow, but typically, right, like if you look at like the big games and stuff, like obviously like Liverpool and us, we've had some terrible games, but like 1-0 and the entire body language of the team just is defeated, right? Like you said, like they have no belief that they're going to be able to get a couple of goals back. And our goal scoring has been our biggest like challenge, right? Like that Mbeumo chance kind of summarized, you know, like the hardest working player on the pitch, literally the guy who, if anyone deserved a goal in a United kit yesterday, it was him.
Same,
And he
100%.
taps it out like 3 yards away from goal in an
Yeah.
open goal. Like, I mean, and
And you
you know what
can't
the
blame him
sad,
for that. That just hits him, you know, in that other
yeah.
moment. It just the
And
ball
you know
just
what,
hits him.
Rohit? And I'm sure Shivu's felt this. It's so sad because the entire pub, we were at a pub yesterday, and everyone's a United fan, right? The entire atmosphere in the place is deflated, like at 18 minutes, right? As soon as Foden scores, like, and one of our friends is a Spurs fan, he's like, dude, I just want you guys to score to see everybody happy, you know? Like, you guys are all just sitting and moping in the corner here, you know? And look at the state we've reached. If a Spurs fan can tell me this,
Yeah.
and I'll have to accept it, bro.
Yeah, they have bragging rights after beating us in the final. And then,
And
you
all
know,
these,
the other thing is like our way of attacking. You know, like yesterday, it just felt like, okay, I love the fact that Dorgu gets so much space. He finds a lot of space on the left. But somebody needs to teach that man how to cross the ball. Bro. How many
and
times
his,
he doesn't beat the first man? He put it long. Get in so many good positions. And now you have a 6'5" man
I know.
mountain there. Just put it in the vicinity, bro, and he will get on it.
Dude, it's like I honestly, like, Dorgu's young, but like there's a part of me that's already looking at him like he's literally making the wrong decision almost every time in those positions. And he's so athletic, he's so energetic that he gets himself in such useful positions.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
like from there to convert it into something meaningful, and don't even get, I thought you were going to say his crossing still, Shivu. Once in a while, his cut in on his right foot and his shot. Oh my God. That
I
needs some
admire when he
help.
tries it, but like
Yeah.
just look out. Look where your player has got the ball properly, bro. It's so simple.
No, but
And
who's
you know
your
what, like,
other who's your other
no, but
replacement for Dogu? Who can play for Dogu other than
Dalo.
that? Again, you want to play?
Yeah, he plays Dalo there.
Dalo's literally the only other person who can probably play that
Luke
position.
Shaw can't do it anymore because he
Yeah,
get
he can't
injured
run.
in 5 minutes if he tries.
Malacia's loaned out, isn't he? What
No, I
happened
think he's
to that?
still there.
Let me actually quickly check what happened.
What about that 18-year-old you guys bought? That Mexican dude.
He's still at United. Damn, he's on the
Leon
bomb
is
squad.
like he's still not ready yet. That's what at least Amram has said so far.
No,
But what's your take on like how much time do you think he has and like what do you think needs to change for him to get a decent
You know,
run now?
Man, I was just like depressed like yesterday. So I was just watching all the United content I can, you know, like just see other people cry makes me feel a little bit better about myself. And these guys were like, you know what, the ownership right now has the right to ask him is, what's your plan? Right, like this midfield thing, is it going to continue to be like this? Why can't you be a little more pragmatic? Just stick another guy in there, make it a 3 or something like that, right? Like he needs to have an idea of what he's going to do to fix it. Because I think the ownership has been really fair to him, you know, in terms of backing him with like money. And I think with the time, you know, they've constantly backed him irrespective of the results, right? And I saw this incredible statue today. I was going to send it on a group, but I didn't want to add fire, you know? You're not. So since Amarim has taken over, the Premier League has had 31 game weeks. Liverpool are top with 68 points. United are bottom with 31. So we literally point 31 games, 31 points. We had 37 points. I mean, let's not even try to compete with Liverpool, but I'm just saying that there's a fan base on this podcast who's got to, and our goal difference is minus 13, theirs is plus 45. So I was like, they've had 58 moments of joy compared to us.
Yeah, and I also saw like we have, so in these 31 Premier League games, we have 8 wins. And I can tell you, I can name every win right now. Only
No,
one of those wins is a convincing win, which is a 4-0 win to Everton. Every other game, like the Burnley 3-2, I remember Southampton 3-2, Ahmad late hat-trick, then Man City late, winning late on. There's barely been any conviction in any
and
of our
literally
victories.
all the wins, Shivu, all the wins were Ipswich, Burnley. They're pretty much so. The reason why we're bottom of that list is because that list only has 17 teams, right? So there's obviously, so there's 3, and like, there's 3 that have got relegated last year and 3 that have got. And last year, dude, honestly, like, and I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic here, but if those 3 teams weren't as trash as they were, we were like in relegation 6 points plus, bro. You know 100%. What I mean? Like, but this is so the only thing that's keeping me positive though is like, and obviously Arteta had to do something similar, but the toxicity around their club is like nothing compared to what it's around ours, you know, like he had much more time and freedom, and it was an incredibly tough job, but the worst they finished was 8th, but he had to like, it's almost like when you're sick, right? And you have to like let a virus come out of you. You almost have to like, you know what I mean? Like go, like you have to be really sick for a period of time.
Yeah.
And that was like 15th. But then if you don't see signs of progress from there, right, then what was the point of that sickness? Then you're just being sick. You're continuing to be sick, right? Like,
we're just clinging on to all these stupid stats, man. XG and shots and so on. But like, if he doesn't get results, it doesn't matter because he will eventually get sad.
No, and because another thing, sure, like I feel like the focus is like, as fans we're like, okay, you know, he's trying to make them fitter, he's trying to do this and that. So even that stuff will start running out, though. You know, once the results, like we've got 4 points in 4 games, right? Like,
no, like, but genuinely, if he wasn't a good speaker, like say
Ten Hag, gone by now.
He'd be gone. It's just 100%. Because he carries himself well in the press, and maybe of course new owners have actually backed him, but.
And I think he's clear in his communication. I still feel like there hasn't been a day where we've seen a terrible performance and he's come out and said, "Oh, we played good today." You know what I mean? So, but at some point he needs to fix it. Right? It's like it's one thing.
We're here to win football matches, bro. How long is this going to go on?
You know, guys, I'm enjoying this rant. You know, I haven't said a word for the last 6 minutes because I'm just like, listen, lads, I just ordered popcorn now, so I can just hear you guys talk.
You know what is? I'll give you a good one that I saw on Twitter. What do Black Eyed Peas and United have in common? Both shit since Fergie left. Because honestly, and you know, if you just look at the history of our club also, you know, there hasn't been like, we've had 2 incredible managers, right? And like a bunch of like mediocrity in between that. So we're just like biding our time now till the next one. You know, because I mean, like Liverpool 30 years, man, that's like a significant time, right? But then at the same time, I don't think the media scrutiny and all was probably as intense because it just didn't exist, right? There was no social media in the 80s and the 90s. And Liverpool sort of like, but still, right? Like you hope that someday we'll also come back, but it looks far.
It's just very gloomy right now. But I want to ask you, like, go ahead, Karakas.
I have one question. So, say hypothetically, Ruben Amorim is sacked. Who do you think you guys?
That's a great question. Like who? I would love like Iraola, but then like, would he like take on this project? You know, like knowing what he knows. Like, I think it has to be somebody like that, right? Like, I don't think there's any like real established names who are like looking for a job.
Glasner.
Right? Yeah, Glasner's another great shot.
Off somebody,
but that's the thing, exactly. It has to be that type of process right now where like, and that's so, I feel terrible even having this conversation, man. You know, like it feels like then what was the point of the preseason? What was the point of last year? You know, like what was the point of that Europa final? Like, I just like hope he's the one who can turn around, but he's not given us any signs, right? Like
not yet at least.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, like,
31 games is a long time, Shivu. You know, like that's the thing. Right? It's not like a small sample size, right? Like,
and the sad part about this season is like last year he had the Europa League. You know, that softened the blows. Sometimes we had like some good victories there. So then even if the Premier League didn't work out, we were still hanging on to that. Yeah, now he has nothing. We even lost in the Carabao Cup. FA Cup doesn't start till end of December, January. So we have to wait at 5, 6 days each time for another game. But I wanted to ask you, if I give you the reins right now, as Ruben Abram, you know you're playing this 3-4-3 system. What do you think is our best 11?
Honestly, I think like Cunha, Sesko, Mbuemo. I don't know, man. Like, how are you gonna draw Bruno? But maybe Cunha and Mbuemo. Yeah. And honestly, bro, I feel like Dorgu, Ahmad kind of picked themselves. Then it's that middle, man. I would say Casemiro will be, obviously. But like, Ugarte is awful, man. Like, I don't know what has happened to that guy, dude. Like, oh my God. He's just brain dead. Like, I you know what, like, yeah, because I was so desperate for a player of that type, right? Like that type of like what Gravenberch does so exceptionally well for Liverpool. Just a guy who breaks it up, simple passes forward. We had a guy called Fred who used to win the ball and give it straight back.
Me and Karan discussed this, man. No, but Fred was still better. I feel like he 80%
Fred
of the
much
time
better
he'd
than
win the
Ugarte,
ball back and at least play that 5-yard pass. Ugarte, like
Ugarte
I don't remember him
awful.
playing a pass yesterday, bro.
No, and he plays like those no-look hard passes in the front and all that. Like, bro, play a 5-yard simple one first, and then let's slowly build to those like 60, 70-yard ones.
And then he'll shoot from 40 yards thinking he's freaking Ronaldinho or something.
Man. There's that shot he took against Arsenal where like we were like desperate. And that's another thing, like that Arsenal game, that's slowly fading away from memory, dude. Like that was the only positive of the season and we lost, you know, so it's nothing like... You know, but anyway, I was gonna say, like, I wonder what Karak's opinion is, because, you know, like talking about the pub, I say, like, this might be like our hubris as United fans, you know, our ego, whatever, but like, is this United like not good for football? You know what I mean? Like a derby yesterday would be much more like an exciting fixture, right? But like, I don't think even like we obviously as United fans had a little bit of hope because City were in bad form and all of that. But what do you make of that in like general? Like, you know, do you think that like football, obviously there's enough football fans who are not United fans, you know, but then I wonder, like, now you're at a point, at an age where it's like, it's over, that banter. It's been 15 years since we were good, you know, so what do you make of that?
No, I think I was also on the same boat, you know. I started supporting in 2006 and I was getting slapped in school, you know,
by United fans.
By United fans, and then, you know, Paul Konchesky, you had Akulani and all of that nonsense going on. But you know, we weren't this bad, you know. We weren't this bad. We never finished 15th or...
No, you've never finished below 8th. Liverpool have never finished below 8th, yeah.
So my thing is, I'm just tired of bantering with United fans at the moment. I feel bad.
No, it's not fun anymore, man.
It's not fun anymore. Even yesterday, I was watching the game, and after the first goal went in, I was like, boss, the game's over. Like, you know, I just didn't see United coming back.
True.
Even though, like you mentioned, I thought City were shit. Like, City were average. I wouldn't say City were shit. City were average, clinical. But it's not like before, you know. Like I also didn't text anybody. Usually, if United lose, I'll be busy on my phone, man, just texting.
Honestly, like all my groups have like kind of died out. The United banter's kind of ended now. You know, it's like leave him, bro. Let him be. Like, you know?
Also,
it's just how it is.
But it's also because of Ruben Amorim. You know, I'll be very honest with you. After the game got done, like, what the fuck does he mean by, you know, I won't change my style, hire someone else? Like, you know, like, come on. There is a point where you have to be answerable, right?
To show you how far we've fallen off, a 4th place and an FA Cup under Fergie is a failure of a season.
Yeah. 100%.
What we would do for that right now. You know,
I'll bite an arm, a leg, a head, and anything you want.
I'll honestly, I'll let you do that Australian accent for a good 2 hours. You do whatever you want, bro. Just give me that 4th or 5th place and an FA Cup, please, God. Like, you know.
No, and like over the years, we've complained about every manager because it's just with every passing year, the standard has gotten lower and lower and lower. We thought Moyes was bad. Then we thought, I remember after losing to Liverpool 3-1, Mourinho was like, you know, they defeated them. We're like, oh, this is the worst we will get. Then we had Van Gaal, who played the most boring football ever. We thought that was the lowest, and we had Ten Hag and Solskjaer. Honestly, in the last 6, who do you think has been the most fun?
I would say Ten Hag 1 season, but he was so bad in the 2nd and 3rd that, you know, you have to kind of like forget the 1st season. But I swear to God, you know, before coming on today, my first thought was I'll touch Ole's feet, because I was one of those fans who was like, like so obsessed with Klopp and Guardiola that I wanted us to have our version of that. And I was like not happy with Ole because he just wasn't that, right? Like he was everything but that. Like he probably couldn't have taken this team to like consistent first and second, considering how the Premier League is. But he was perfect for that third, fourth type of, rebuild that we were looking for. And even now, like the Maguire interview, Maguire did a really good interview with Rio, and he was talking about the way Ole set them up, because it wasn't just Ole, it was also McKenna, Ole, and Carrick.
Yeah, and
right.
Carrick.
So that was like a really solid system that they had, and all three guys are like through like thorough United guys, right? Through and through, all three of those guys, right? So they understood the club. But that being said, yeah, that was probably like that Ten Hag one season where I thought, okay, there's signs of this, and it all came down to that spine of the team. Like I thought Martinez, Varane, Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. When those five played, we actually looked like we were controlling games and stuff, But then it's no sign of that whatsoever since
we never
that
have
season.
Control at all, man. Every game is a basketball game.
Yeah,
it's one end to the other, and you can't play like that. Yesterday,
no, and you can't play with our personnel that we have, right? Like if you had like
City
a really like Liverpool can play like that.
Yeah, City were doing that yesterday or sometime, and then they realized that we can just hold the ball. We know how to do this.
Absolutely, that's exactly what United guys said. They were like,
changes.
City was just like fucking about, like, letting us have the ball. And then they like someone like Rodri just puts his foot on the ball and says, like, calm it down, like I can control the game. We have nobody who can do that, right? Like that's the thing, man. Like, I've been so amazed by Gravenberch these last couple of years because his ability to just like set the tempo of the game, right? Like just simple. And obviously he's had Van Dijk behind him, but like it's just like that. And McAllister, obviously Liverpool is different, but Liverpool can play that open game of football, right? Because they have athletes, they have runners, they have like such an intensely like well-drilled team. And that's the sad thing is like we don't even play well, you know what I mean? Like even with you guys, like as bad as it was under Rodgers and stuff, you still play decent football, right? Like I can't like point at like an Amarin game and like say I thoroughly enjoyed that. Like under Ten Hag, I don't know if you remember that Spurs game where Ronaldo walked out.
You went for it, didn't you?
I didn't go for that. Noah and Rishabh went for that.
Okay.
What a performance that was that day, like that was like the last time. And you know what, again, we're clutching at straws like 3 years ago. This was, 2.5 years ago. Something like that. So anyway, I mean, you know what, that's just the reality of it. You know what, my mom, who's actually a big fan of both of yours and Karak's good friend now, she was here a couple of weeks ago, Shiva, and I obviously it was after the, who did we lose? We drew to Fulham. And then I was like, ma, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. She's like, but you guys have been losing for like a long time now.
Auntie G. I'm giving the salute to Auntie G.
It's just like happening now.
Yeah, honestly, man. And we were like, one of our friends was like offered, Farhan, I think you both know, was offered the opportunity. He's like, if nobody would know, but you can change the club you support. And he's a Muslim, okay? He's like, how can I tell you I'll worship Jesus Christ before I change the team that I support, Like, we've all been, like, just, we're all just, like, so passionate. Like, but what's the point?
Yeah, we're United fans for life. Through thick and thin, but we just, I mean, I guess we've seen the good times, and this is like us going through the bad times. And it's just karma, I guess, to a certain degree.
But that's the thing. It's like the only group of fans who I think who are thoroughly enjoying this, because I think Liverpool, like, they win, bro. So they're actually like winning and enjoying their team. The Arsenal assholes are the only one, who like, because we just ruined their childhood. Yeah, honestly, they don't win crap. So I know you want to move on to cricket.
They have more trophies, bro. No, forget cricket. Let's move on to some Champions League previews. So we've got the first game week coming up and some pretty big games with Barcelona traveling to Newcastle first up. We got Rashford coming back. Have you guys watched a lot of Barcelona this season?
No, actually, I watched a couple of their highlights. But
couple of games. I watched a couple of games. Hansi Flick with that bloody high line. Such a great tactic. Everyone's just next to the half line. Yamal, Rafinha. Rashford's been decent, actually. Rashford did pretty well yesterday when they won 6-0.
He got an assist yesterday.
He got an assist for the Rafinha's goals, the second goal. But overall, I think they're a very good team. They won the La Liga last year, and sad that they haven't played a single game at the Camp Nou. They played yesterday in this other stadium where they only have 6,000 fans. But that's also a cause for concern, right? How long will that go on for? Because if, say, for example, when Barcelona get the big guns, when they don't play in the Camp Nou, you think they might just not be as effective of how they are when they play in the Camp Nou? You never know.
No, obviously, yeah, that is a factor, but I think there's something like they will move very soon, right? Like it's just a matter of time, and like that country has like that club has a lot of off-field issues always, right? Which is incredible to think about, right? Like look at the difference between Barca and United. Like Barca, despite what's going on off the field, Yamal obviously everybody knows, but that Kobasi kid, man, he's like 18 years old.
What a player, huh?
What a player, man!
What a
like,
bloody player!
Wow, like. He's genuinely like so like calm, like he plays like a 40-year-old centre back, like
he runs the show there. He runs the show
yeah,
there. Feels
exactly.
like an
He's like
Italian
the
defender
most exactly. He gives me like that old school like Italian, like just in terms of like most touches in the game is him always, right? Like he just sort of sets the tempo, and I've been amazed with them, man. Last year that Inter Barca game was the best like Champions League tie in a long time, wasn't it?
No, I agree. I agree. Only if Eric Garcia could have scored that sitter he missed. What a save by Yannick Sommer, though.
Oh my God, man. What was that? How did he miss that? Like,
and he kept making saves. Even that Yamal shot, when Yamal just tried to do like a curler on the left side and Yamal went to celebrate. Sommer's hand just flicks it and it goes out.
Oh my God, man. Couple of insane saves, and I was just sorry to make it about United, but I was so annoyed with Inter. I was like, how did you send us that clown and just replace him with like somebody so much better? Like,
and they
so
bought
quickly,
that summer for some 3 million or something like that.
God.
For the last few weeks, I forgot that a goalkeeper was supposed to make saves also. I haven't seen it happen.
Well, then let's go back to Newcastle. St. James Park. It's going to be buzzing. Finally back playing Champions League again. What are your thoughts on that squad, and what do you think? An upset brewing?
Was it last year they beat PSG, right? And that was an incredible result, right? In that first, there was their first return to the Champions League, and I think this is going to be an amazing test for them, man. Like I've honestly been like Eddie Howe for how lack of investment they've had in their squad. The way they played against you guys, they got a decent result this week, but then they had a couple of bad results before that, but. I've been amazed by how he runs his team, man. Like, whoever comes in, he's like manages to make the absolute most of every player who he signs, right? Like, he finds a way to like maximize their talent. And I think this is going to be an amazing test for them. Like this is probably, in my opinion, like I was shocked that they didn't make the final last year. But I think Liverpool, Barca, Arsenal, Madrid, probably the 4 best teams.
PSG?
Bayern? PSG, I don't know, man. Like, I think the keeper thing, like, I'm interested to see what this, because I thought Donnarumma was so key for them, moving into the knockouts last year. But I mean, honestly, PSG are exceptional. That Chelsea result maybe is like, sticking with me a little bit, but because their run to that final was also incredible, right? Like, they beat Bayern, not in the Champions League. I'm talking about the Club World Cup. They beat no, but that's in the Champions League. In the Club World Cup also, they had a really tough run till the final, and they beat everybody quite convincingly. So actually, PSG definitely. Like now that I'm convincing myself. What do you guys think? Is that a club that I didn't mention that I didn't mention that you think has a shot of winning it this year?
I have a team that I'm going to support. It's the boys from Naples, because we've got two United boys over there now, and I'm hoping they can kick off their campaign by beating a team that we couldn't. Because they're playing Man City at the Etihad.
No, and I mean, De Bruyne's return, man. That's also pretty big.
And De Bruyne. And we've got the return of Højlund to Manchester. We've got Scott McTominay coming back to Manchester. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting tie, and I hope they can actually pull off something.
All three have equal legacies in the Premier League. McTominay, De Bruyne, Højlund.
Hey, what I would do for
Shivu just sneaked in Højlund there. I had to call him out for that.
Hey, he scored, bro.
Yeah. But then, like, that league looks awful, man. Like, it just, like, looks... Like, that league is, like, perfect for Xerxes. Like, 0.75. Like, it's like...
Man, again, that's another man who should come on earlier yesterday. But...
Yeah. I think even a substitute. Anyway, we can talk about United for hours. But anyway, What do you make of Liverpool's chances? Like, I think Liverpool have a good shot, man. My only hope this season is you guys don't win the Champions League. I think a league I've written off already for you guys, but
no. But then again, if you look at our squad, one injury away in the middle again, and also Mark Gay not coming in also was a
big move, huh? Yeah,
a big miss also, right? Because we just have at this moment Van Dijk, Konate, Gomez, Leone. That's about it. And then who else do you have? And then one injury to either. And we know Konate is he's kind of injury prone. He gives you 30 games a season or 35 games a season in the league. But you know for a fact that he's going to miss a couple of games. He's going to miss at least 10 games overall.
No,
So
but
I'm
you
just
know what?
worried
The
about
bigger concern for you guys, I think, is those Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah, right? And maybe Gravenberch as well. Now I put him in that list because that's how impressive he's been. But I think the other positions you can sort of like mix and match. You have enough talent in the squad with Wirtz and Ekitike and Isaac now. But I still think these are the three guys. If you keep them fit, honestly, like there's like the PSG game last year, I thought they really outplayed you. And like Alisson was just a god. But it was still penalties, right? Like, you still lost to them only on penalties.
Yeah, again, that PSG game, I thought we should have actually beaten them at Anfield. But I think a fair result. I think PSG deserved to go through. They smacked us out of the fucking park. They killed us at their home stadium, and then we won 1-0 because of Elliot.
Yeah, I remember that.
But that was a Donnarumma mistake, though. That was a Donnarumma mistake. He does that a lot.
He passed it. He's not good with his feet. Yeah, he's not great.
But he does that a lot. Like, he doesn't like. For example, he goes in a little late for the balls which come in on the ground. I don't think you've noticed this, but if you watch him
You're
closely,
a goalkeeper, right? Give us the insights, man.
I just feel like sometimes he makes these idiotic errors where he goes in a little too slow to collect the balls which goes on the ground, and that's what happened with Elliot also. That was a regulation save, but he went in a little slow, so that's where the ball went in. And he's done that a lot.
I also remember
also.
he does have a mistake because I remember against Madrid as well. He made a couple of big mistakes that led Vinicius that Benzema season when they won the Champions League. But anyway, coming back to Liverpool's chances, do you think what I want to hear Shiv's opinion on? What about the Gooners?
I think the Gooners will go again quarterfinals, semi-finals. They're just joke artists, so I don't see them going further than that. There are probably four better teams than in the Champions Leagues. They'll have a good season. They probably beat one big team like they did last year in Real Madrid. And Arsenal fans will celebrate that like they won the Champions League. So they can live with that. I genuinely think PSG, Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool. I don't see beyond this. Maybe, but there's another team we want to talk about, and they're playing Chelsea this week, which is Bayern, which we didn't really mention. Do we see them as some sort of outsiders, contenders?
I don't rate
don't have that same. Sorry,
I don't rate Kompany that much when in a knockout setting. Obviously, he'll run through that Bundesliga, but then you just know, like, I don't think they're strong, but not that strong. Not like a Liverpool, not like an Arsenal, not like an.
I think the PSG. Accumulation of talent now, man. I was literally looking at FIFA's coming out this week or next week, and I was looking at the number of 5-star teams in FIFA. There's only 5. Like back in the day, Atletico, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, Napoli, even in a couple of seasons, PSG, like even the Premier League, United. Now it's only Liverpool and Arsenal, right? And not even Chelsea, City as well, I guess. So that kind of like, and I think that, I don't know, so that's why this new format I thought was like, I didn't expect it to have such a good result, but it kind of made the tournament a little bit more intriguing, right? Like there was like more games with jeopardy at the end of the group stage. But that's another thing that's an interesting topic maybe for another day. But like the accumulation of talent, man. Like Arsenal have a 700 million pound like backup squad now. Like it's honestly like insane. Like the other clubs just like can't compete, right? Like AC Milan's marquee signing is a 40-year-old Luka Modric, right? Like it's insane what the Premier League but that's honestly why I was talking to a friend about it. Like, do you feel like that affects their performances in the Champions League? Like, why aren't they dominating the Champions League, right? Like, when you look at the quality of their squads.
Also, I think why they're not performing in the Champions League is also because of the Premier League itself. Because, I don't think they support Premier League teams when there's a Champions League game. For example, PSG, when they had their semi-final, they'll purposely make sure that they can move games, but then in the Premier League, they fucking don't. And every team has like a solid amount of break during the December, like the end of December period, except the Premier League. Our break starts on the 9th of Jan after the FA Cup game we play. So I think it just boils down to the number of games we play and just the league not being as supportive as the others.
True.
That's what I think.
True. The other leagues, Madrid and Barca run their league, right? So they can do what they want. Yeah, like.
And it's also the individual demands in a game. Like every Premier League game is far more intense than the odd La Liga game, right? Or the
even mentally, right? Yeah,
yeah,
even mentally, especially.
Even if
you can't like
a Leeds or some team that's come up. You still have to be on it 100%. Whereas Barcelona and Madrid, if they're playing, I don't know, Levante or some random team at the bottom, they don't really have to turn up. 60%, 70%, they will get get the job done.
No, and you know what, dude? At 2-0 in those games, you can shut off, right? Like
Yeah,
like
exactly.
30 minutes into the game, you're 2-0 up and you can shut off. In the Premier League, you can, like, Bournemouth, you can't shut off. Liverpool to go 2-0 up, Bournemouth come back 2-2. You know, what a game
Unless you
that
play
was.
United, you have to be on hand.
Yeah. That's good.
Uh,
We have
should I
to
even say
we
it,
have to
bro?
take it. Yeah, but you know, but that's also been a trend in the Premier League. You know what? This past week, someone did a summary of the first 4 game weeks of the last 2 seasons, and this season has had, I think, 14 or 16 clean sheets, something like that, something insane. The XG is way lower than it has been in the last 2 seasons, which just shows you, I think, teams are a little tired as well, man. You know, like there were so many draws on Saturday. Palace Sunderland was 0-0.
0-0.
Everton
0
Leeds went
0-0.
like 93rd minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Everton
Fulham
scored.
got a goal, yes.
Fulham. No, that was Fulham Leeds.
Fulham.
Everton Aston Villa
Sorry,
was
Fulham
0-0.
was 0-0. Sorry, yeah, and then Liverpool Burnley was heading to a 0-0 as well.
Spurs
So
West Ham
that's something
3-0.
to keep an eye on.
Sorry.
But yeah,
Villa
before we wrap,
still
is there
scored
anything else?
a goal in the Premier League in 4
Damn,
games.
man.
It's
That's
quite
insane.
a stat.
In the 7 leagues in the English division, Villa are the only team who haven't scored a fucking goal.
Wow.
What a fucking stat.
Watkins has
about
done me
this.
really well on my
Bro.
FPL, man. Consistent 2. He's been doing well. At least he doesn't get yellow cards.
Yeah. I think things will change once they unlock Sancho.
Oh, I think that's the key. That's the puzzle piece, man.
Sancho.
Good.
But
then
yeah,
I think,
but you have a prediction for Bayern Chelsea? I just have an interesting feeling that Chelsea might pull off something in that game, even though they're going all the way.
I think
to
that's
Milan.
actually, I think even more than the Newcastle game, I think Newcastle game, Barca are probably favourites, but I think in this is probably going to be an equalish game, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think Chelsea look like decent in the Prem, but you know, I think they have like a good squad. I don't know, actually, Chelsea, I don't know what to say, man. Like, why was Bueno Note starting, man? I can't understand. You spent 6 billion on your squad, and you've signed a guy from relegated Leicester, and he starts
And
for
he's
you in the middle.
starting. I guess they wanted to
Yeah.
rest them for this game. It depends on what their priorities are. I wonder if
Also,
Garnacho will also get his first start, that brat.
also that Enzo Maresca, why the fuck is he playing 4 centre backs against Brentford? Like, they were so shit
He's scared.
in the first half, and then he obviously had to get Reece James and Cuckoo, and then Cole Palmer, and Yeshiv's boyfriend Garnacho.
No, but I thought that's fashionable now, bro. Arteta does that, and then everybody will suck his nice head of him. I don't want to say it. I don't want to swear. Maresca does it, and just because he's bald, you guys don't appreciate it as much.
But I gotta give it to Maresca though. What a squad! I can't believe he remembers all his players. But also, again, like you mentioned, it's a good squad. But then I don't understand Gittins on the left. I know I'd rather give Garnacho the chance to just play because he's Premier League proven. And also you have on the right Neto. You have Neto. You have Estavo, the Brazilian kid from the favelas or wherever the hell
That
they
kid
got him
looks
from.
pretty good, though. To be
But
fair,
that kid looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Then
then
he's
Dash,
18, you know. But then their squad just doesn't make any sense, man. You know,
Same.
like and one thing I'm so curious about is, like, why do they keep signing players in the same position? You know, if you're gonna like sign a few centre backs, a couple of goalkeepers, you know what I mean? Like, sign like good players, but like, you know, it's baffling when you look at how much they've spent, and when they put out a lineup like they did against Brentford, you're like, where did all that money go, right? Like Dewsbury Hall and stuff, in and out. Like, that guy's carried on with his career. You know, like Chelsea are still like
Also,
putting things together.
I genuinely feel I think they don't have a proper centre back. They don't have a world-class centre back. Obviously, Colville is a big miss. But then right now, I think that team doesn't have that centre back where you're going to be like, listen, like a Virgil. Obviously, you can't get a Virgil everywhere. But then just like a leader at the back. Because they have Disasi.
100%.
They just have like so many centre backs,
No,
but they're not that great.
No,
That's
think
what I
about it as a
Fofana was
pairing
supposed
as
to
well.
be that guy, but
Yeah, Fofana has clearly had some. He's had some issues there, right? Like injuries, obviously, but then beyond that, he just
70
never
million
performed
pounds for Fofana, by the
consistently.
way, I
Yeah,
must say.
insane, man. And like, you know, Chelsea just keep getting away with it, right? Like because now, like, they literally went from like a super rich owner who's throwing money into the team to another even richer
Super
owner
rich
who's
owner.
throwing more money. Yeah. So I
But
guess they have the luck of the
if there's
draw.
one team that will justify all of Chelsea's signings, it will be us on Sunday. So don't worry, everything will be justified on Sunday.
Oh my
But
God.
I
And
think that's
honestly, Shibu, have
uh,
no expectations for that game because I'm going
uh,
and I'm a horrible jinx, Karak. I've gone for my last 8 United games, 4 wins and 4 draws, 4 losses. What 4 wins? So I have yet to see us
but
win in the last 8.
I can
And
say it's not
Numan,
on
our
you.
friend who's joining us, is even worse. He has a awful home record, so don't expect much for
Yeah, no,
Saturday. But
I'm
what?
expecting us to lose. I'm keeping my expectations as low as possible. This weekend, I made the mistake of predicting United to beat City. I am not making any such prediction ever again.
Aim
Same here.
low and you won't be disappointed.
Exactly. Sweet verse from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. If you remember, that's actually where that quote is
Exactly.
from.
Exactly where I got it from. Exactly where I got it from. We grew
But
up together, Shivu. Our cultural
yeah,
references are the same, man. Like,
but moving on to another sporting event that happened yesterday,
I'm
besides
wearing
the
the
Manchester Derby that I think about 1.5 billion people watched, was India and Pakistan after a so-called war that happened a couple of months ago. And India took
shocking
the
that.
decision to not shake hands with the Pakistani players at the end of the match. What would we make of this, boys?
Just to make it clear, we spoke about it before, but did every single player consciously do that, or did some Indian players shake their hand after? Because
So,
I didn't stay
just for
until the end.
context, Suryakumar and Shivam Dubey are at the crease. Suryakumar hits the winning six. They both join together and start walking off the field. And then at the edge of the pavilion outside, all the Indian cricketers are there. They, of course, shake hands amongst each other. And then they go inside the door and close the
Okay.
door. And so then it's just done after that. I
Man,
mean,
like this whole, this is probably not the perfect place to bring it up in a sports podcast, but the whole like India Pakistan issue right now, it's become like, it's almost like so trivialized, It's like there's people dying every day, and we're like acting like it's a cricket match there also, like it's not
yeah,
really like it's like not a sign of your like patriotism if you're like doing what they did yesterday, right? Like, I no way
yeah,
are the Pakistani cricketers involved in what's going on. It's a sport, and like the beauty of cricket, like it's called the gentleman's game for a reason, right? Like,
yeah.
and if you
And
behave like that, I honestly I have no sympathy for that whatsoever. Like,
No,
and I think,
also just like, on it, they fucking played the game, right? It's
mm,
not like they didn't play the game. So you won. Just shake hands and
absolutely. If
go.
your morals are so strong, then come to the pitch that day and say, listen, I'm not going to play today, right? If you have
Exactly.
such an issue
exactly.
with the other team, yeah, then.
And also, I don't
And it's like,
understand
I mean,
the.
also our board is controlled by our government, dude. So if they didn't really have a problem, like, you know what I mean? Like, Jai
Yeah,
Shah and Amit Shah are happy with that game going on. But the rest of the country is like having a problem with it. It's like, you need to know where to point the blame at. It's not the
yeah.
players' fault. It's not the Pakistan team's fault.
It's just
If they didn't want that
tokenism.
game to happen, no, but you know what, Shiva? I realized it's just the luck of the draw because we were drawn against them, right? They had to play. Because
Yeah, we
you know
happen to
what?
be
Like, yeah.
drawn against them
Yeah.
every single time, and we happen to play against them Sunday 8 p.m. every single time.
Every single time, no matter what.
Yeah, and even if you look at the format of the Asia Cup, we're always in the same group, and it'll be India, Pakistan, and two absolute minnows, so that we always get out of the group, and then we make sure we have to play in a Super Four, which is another group. So
Yeah.
you get another India-Pakistan game with the hope that they even reach the final and play three
Final?
times.
3 games
You
in
know what,
total.
dude? I'm like at this point because we're all on to you. At least one tournament don't make this match happen. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at least just to keep us guessing a little bit, man. Like
Yeah.
what the
No, but
and you
unfortunately,
know what?
people are not catching on. Like they genuinely, it's become like a sign of patriotism and nationalism.
Hundred
And
percent, 100%.
this handshake thing, I think, has genuinely come out of. So when we were doing the press conference before the tournament started, all the captains are sitting together, and Salman Agha, who's the Pakistan captain, shakes Surya Kumar's hand. And then after that, on Twitter, there's this whole barrage of people attacking Surya Kumar Yadav for shaking his hand. So, which is why I think that where this motivation has come from to not shake hands, which is it's just bizarre. Like they're just playing a game. Shake their hands, we finished it, and move on.
I know,
Nah, man,
100%. And like, see,
it's.
when you do something like this, you're creating another issue which is unnecessary. Right? Like, if he shakes his hand, it's done. We move on. We talk about something else. And now, like, it's that's the thing is like cricket is like it's not a sport for this type of behavior. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's just like it's like a game. It's not even a sport. You know what I mean?
Also, the thing is that I think the issue at hand is also that we've just become so stupid, right? Because it's a sport at the end of the day, right?
It's a
Just,
pandemic, man.
like,
Stupidity.
I'm just like, what do you mean by if I watch the game, I'm an anti-nationalist? Like, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah, shut
Like,
up.
I'm reading this on Twitter and I'm like, people are tweeting about Sony. If you broadcast this game, I'm gonna boycott you. I'm like, bros, you really think Sony gives a fuck about your tweet and you're gonna boycott?
There's like, there's like Sony's like, hey, Ramesh from Tirupur said he's not watching the game. Cancel it. Cancel the whole event.
Yeah, the blame lies with everybody but BCCI and the government. The blame lies with everybody else.
I swear, dude. Like it's not like the home minister's son runs the cricket in our country. It's not like he chooses when we play, when we don't play. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly like it's a farce,
because I
man.
want to talk about how good Kuldeep Yadav was. I want to talk about how good Abhishek Sharma is. But it just gets like fogged by this entire unnecessary incident.
And
also, never make it about politics at the end of the day.
100%.
Like never. Like, that's the best part about sport, right? We watch sport for what?
It's an escape, right? It's an escape for everybody, yeah.
And now you are making it so political. Like, we're not talking about the bloody game here. We're talking about the handshake.
100%. Like, no, you nailed it, Rohan. You're like, they're stupid, bro. Because like, when did we turn on a cricket match to understand like geopolitics? And like that's not the place. It's like I'm not going to Surya Kumar Yadav for my like diplomacy tips, and you know what I mean? Like it's like let him do what he does, like, and we'll like that discussion is for another place, another. But it's crazy, and it's like it's just so like tribal now at this point. Right? Like when you guys were discussing it with Avinash as well, like like just these fans and stuff. It's almost like there's no like logic to their fandom. It's just blind, right? And they're not able to like sort of differentiate between what a fan is and like what obsession is, right? Like it's like a fan, you agree, you watch them, you move on, right? Like with like what they have, it's like unhealthy, like toxic obsessions. And then that is what leads to a thing like this, where he does one small thing where he shook that Salman's hand and he gets, like absolutely dragged through the mud.
But also when we talk about the fan thingy, right? It's also because India is so shit at other sports, That's only cricket. So, invariably, like, you're just going to be like, Kohli, bro, listen, Kohli, if I see Kohli here, I'm just going to fucking take a wank, right? Like, that's the mentality at this moment. It's so sad.
Dude, that's Rohit Sharma fans, okay? That's not us Virat Kohli fans, please.
I'm just saying, right? Like, I just don't understand. Like this much fandom for what? Like, at the end of the day.
No, but I honestly, and I wonder if you guys are seeing this trend change a little bit. And Shivu being in Bollywood will probably seen it there as well. Like Shah Rukh, Virat, these were the last of that. Like there's no like Shubman Gill like camp. They might be, you never know.
It's coming.
But honestly, maybe it is coming. Maybe I'm missing out because like actually now I do see like Shubman versus Sanju. It's like you can't like both of them. You have to choose one. It's like why, bro? I like both of them.
The same team. God. It's like we discussed, like there's people going after Bumrah. Like, how dare you, bro? Shut up.
I know, honestly, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, if you like cannot appreciate Bumrah, if you have a problem with his cricket, like, and I think Avinash said something so perfect. He's like, he's literally the best cricketer we've ever produced, arguably, right? You could make an argument that Bumrah is the best cricketer who ever played for India, like. And yet there'll be people like, oh, he's selfish. It's like, bro, you know how hard it is to do what he does, like, like.
But you also saw this recent, I think Ajay Jadeja, if I'm not wrong, mentioned that if Bumrah plays against Oman or UAE, I'm going to boycott watching Asia Cup because he didn't play those 2 test matches against England. I'm like,
no. Bro, even these talking heads in cricket, man, God, there's some clowns.
There's too many, man. There's too many.
Yeah, because like in cricket especially, and like the Indians like opinionated guys. Anything they'll say.
Yeah. And I feel like just generally the charm for this tournament has come down now.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. No, and like Asia Cup, like Asian, like if England and Australia are not in the tournament, there's no
It's
fun.
over.
You know, like there's the only two teams that I think in the
that's
world
also
right now
because
can
India is
compete.
so dominant right now.
Yeah.
And but even like watching something, the other group is quite intriguing with Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, and
True.
Bangladesh.
Like
Of
if you're
course.
like not for an India fan as much, but like for a cricket
for a
fan, like
neutral.
that group, there's like like Bangladesh actually has given those two teams like a couple of hard games. Like they've beaten,
Yeah.
and there's that whole issue that you guys are talking about, right? By Bangladesh and
Yeah.
Pakistan.
They
Obviously,
lost to
Bangladesh
Sri
and Sri
Lanka.
Lanka.
Yeah. They lost to Sri Lanka the other day.
But does anybody have a shot of winning this tournament outside of India, you think?
No.
I mean, in
Yeah,
2020, it's like you can never say never.
Yeah,
but
no, but then obviously, like on cricket, anyone can win on a given day. But if like, what is the team then? Like, because I don't see it being Pakistan, no chance.
Afghanistan
see.
probably on their day.
Maybe.
Like, we get a very spin
But
friendly back.
so many things have to go in their favor, right?
India
Like,
has to collapse. Our batting has to basically collapse
exactly.
for that to happen.
And
But
honestly, man, our
no,
team's
coming
looking
back to the
quite
handshake
stacked at
thing,
this point. Yeah.
the other thing I just want to say is like it doesn't look good to the rest of the world. Like we know internally, okay, we've had a situation with Pakistan and okay, we have our reasons per se for doing this. But to the rest of the world, we look like the bad guys, as the idiots who've just not like shown sportsman spirit and like shook their hands. So it's not a good look for us. But yeah, I mean, it's just
No,
lost.
100%,
I feel like the
100%.
tournament has lost its charm now.
No, and the Indian media has this incredible superpower as well, right? Where they can take something like this and make it like I can picture Arnab was screaming at Lakshman, at Tendulkar, and all of
Sachin,
that. Apparently,
Dravid,
he was like, like it's like, bro, that
all
guy
of
is
them
another
first.
character, but. Yeah, it's like exactly right. So now it'll be dragged in the media, and then it'll become another like next time when we play them, there'll be like this like whatever like underlying thing like will they shake gate and all of that. Like, it'll become,
yeah, they're happy. They get that little bites, man. But I mean, it's been a lot of fun having you on, Ashwin. I think hopefully
yeah,
the
man,
next time
I'm definitely sorry.
I was like, hopefully the next time we call you on, United will be in slightly better form, and this won't have to be a therapy session. Can maybe celebrate it for once. But,
hopefully we can involve Rohit in the conversation a little more because this time he was an observer for a little bit of it.
Yeah, I think he enjoyed watching us weep and mourn, but
it was thoroughly enjoyable, Ash. It was also a pleasure.
No, honestly,
to have
man, I
you
look
here.
forward to it. Yeah, I look forward to the next one. And I've been really enjoying the stuff so far. And I really enjoyed the ones when you have guests on, man. I think both of you like do a good job of having like, you have like a big network now where you can get like, interesting people on. And I'm looking forward to the next few episodes. But always a pleasure.
Thanks so much, Ashwin. And guys, please make sure you like, subscribe, share the video. And we will be back on probably Thursday to review the Champions League games and, of course, preview next week's Premier League action. Take care.
Ciao.
Peace out.